a field goal. Let's talk a little bit about, we got a drive of the first team offense.
We did.
And for me, and I'm curious to see how you saw it and felt it, right? Like when you were in the stadium watching the game on Saturday night, the penalties, they got to do something about that. That's just silliness.
Definitely don't want to start the game off that way.
Right. That's just silliness. And I know Coach Coen talked about after the game, he was on Trevor a little bit for that. He's like, he just had the guys in their stance too long. Like that kind of thing. And they get
antsy. They get real antsy.
And he got going. He's like, we'll deal with that.
Yeah.
Going through the next several weeks. But they overcame that one.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't able to overcome the second one, of which I officially, they kept the block in the back of the two penalties they had on that game. They kept the block in the back on Walker and the offensive pass interference on BTJ on the play. Like when I watched the replay, I was like, where's the block in the back? But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because either way, it was going to be called.
Yep.
Like the play wasn't going to count. That kind of thing. They weren't able to get the first down after that. That's when the field goal came in, was on that series of plays. But my favorite play of the starting offense was the rhythm of the throw to Strange, right? Because that wasn't the first read on that play. And it took a little while for that route to develop.
Yep.
And we've heard throughout training camp, Trevor Lawrence and Liam Coen talking about the rhythm of this offense, the timing of the offense, making things more comfortable for all. And that was the play that stood out to me as that felt like rhythm to me on the offensive side of the ball.
It really felt like Trevor, kind of took another step there, because all offseason I've just been hearing, well, he's not getting past his first reads. He's not going through the reads of the offense. And I'm like, man, he's too talented a guy to be a quarterback that gets stuck on his first or second read. So to see him, and I could visually see him click through the reads, hang in the pocket, slide around a little bit to make sure he had space, and delivered a nice ball. I liked the way he was throwing the ball, honestly. I thought the ball was coming out crisp. It was coming out on time. It was accurate. There were none of the balls that would sail or dive into the ground or anything like that. I thought for him, I could tell he's been working. Whatever that is, I could just tell he's been working on it, and it felt a little crisp. I wanted to see them actually go down and score or give themselves a chance to try to score a touchdown, but I felt like if he would have continued down that path of the way that he started, I felt like he was just going to continue to warm up and get even better and better as the game went on.
Yeah, it felt the whole night, you start with the false start, and it never really stopped being that kind of night to me.
Yeah.
Like the whole night felt sloppy.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And that's not a big surprise with the first-time head coach doing it for the first. Like, they're installing a lot here.
Yeah.
It's a new offense. It's a new defense. It's a first-time head coach. I'm not surprised that some of those kind of things felt a little bit loose. The first time they're out on the field, I don't want to make too big of judgments, on those kind of things, because it is the first time. It is the preseason. These things have time to come together. But I did feel like overall, watching Trevor Lawrence and the first-team offense when they were on the field, the thing that we've talked about all offseason, that rhythm thing that we've talked about, the Coen offense having the chance to create for them, that felt real, right? Like when you're watching that team on the field, that felt real. And, as I mentioned going in the break, we haven't had the chance to talk to you about Travis Hunter yet.
Yeah.
We can talk about the whole experience as we go through the show this morning, but there is a visible difference when Travis Hunter is on the field on either side of the ball and when he is not. The impact that he is going to make on this football team is going to be hard to even figure out exactly how to measure it at this point in time. Because, look, they had 2 stops on defense basically in 4 quarters of football, and it's the 2 series that Travis Hunter was on the field. Right? I don't think that's completely unrelated. What the difference maker he can potentially be for this team, and he is such a threat athletically that slip, man.
I know.
It was so close.
I know. And so offensively, people ask me all the time, what do you think about Travis Hunter? What do you think, is he going to be able to do both ways? And I tell him, well, I've never seen it before, so that is definitely something that's going to be totally new. But I would say give this man his first 2 years of being young, healthy, and just can fly around. Let him see what he can do. Now, I'm not saying 100% on defense and 100% on offense like he did in college, but give him the opportunity to show you that, 60-40, whichever way you want to do it, he can do it. I can tell you this, though. If he is a playmaker on offense and he can catch touchdowns, they are going to lean more to offense because you're going to create points for the team. If you're that dynamic, which it looks like you are, if you're that dynamic, they're not going to just say, even if you're an all-pro defensive cornerback, they still want the person that's going to catch touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Now, they might say, hey, we can bring somebody else in, or we can finagle some scoring opportunities on offense, but this dude is shutting everybody down. If you can get 6 pick sixes in the season, they'll keep you there. Like I said, his first few years, give him the opportunity to do whatever just to see what he can do, because we've never seen this before. We've looked back before at I remember we did it on the show, guys we thought that were two-way guys and how many snaps they actually got in the pro. Like, they usually are defensive guys, and they try to put them on offense for a few snaps. Yeah. Deion had like 10 or 11 catches in his season, and I think nobody else really did much of anything. Champ Bailey, I think, went on offense. And
Troy Brown is one of those guys.
But that was like later on in his career where they're like, all right, you're not doing as much offensively, but you've always talked about you can play defense, so they would stick him out there.
They needed somebody to do it.
Yeah. But this is the first time we see somebody that could be a Pro Bowl on one side, but an All-Pro on the other side. So you just got to let that guy see what he can do, show you what he can do, and then you can start trying to break him down and figure out the best way to have him play there.
Yeah, I thought we had a lot of the conversations about Travis Hunter going through the draft process. And all the draft people that we would have on, they would say, it was echoed by virtually everyone we talked to, he's the best corner or wide receiver in the draft, right? Like, if he was only doing one or the other, he would be the best at that position, right, in this draft. And what I saw on Saturday night, I was like, well, yeah. Like, I'm watching him play on both sides, and I'm like, yeah, he's making a difference when he's on the field, whichever side of the ball that happens to be. I think the way that it's likely to work out is when they have 2 wide receiver sets, he's off the field. And anytime they're doing 3, like anytime they're playing 11 personnel, he's on the field. So in today's NFL, that's 80% of the snaps.
I was going to say it's a lot of snaps.
Like, he's going to be playing on the offensive side, and I think he's going to be part of the base defense. Like, he's too good not to be.
He is. That's why I say just give him the opportunity to do a little bit more than you would want while he's fresh and young, because he's not going to be able to have longevity if he is playing that many snaps on both sides of the ball. You're just eating at your body as you continue to go. It's going to happen. That happens to every player, but they just do it on one side of the ball. So to try to play this game on both sides, it's just it's a lot. It is a lot, because it's not just what we see out on game day. Mm-hmm. He has to be able to practice these things, and so that there's also the physicality of stuff in practice. Now, I know it's totally different than from back in the day, but still, you still have to do those things. There's still muscle issues and all those kind of things that you just got to be smart with.
Yeah, I think Deion mentioned, I saw he was on a podcast somewhere last week, and he had mentioned, someone asked him, it's like, can he really do this? And he's like, yeah, he can do it. He can do what he did at Colorado in the NFL. He's like, and actually, he'll get more rest playing in the NFL than he did at Colorado because of the pace of the offense.
They go fast.
Right, like, that's a point I've been making throughout the whole thing. It's one, he's playing at altitude for a lot of those games at Colorado, and 2, their college offense is NASCAR.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the way that go. We want to run one play every 20 seconds. Like, that's the way college football works in today's game. I don't love it as a fan of just watching the game. Yeah. I think it's boring to play that stuff. I like the the chess moves of the
Yes.
game a little bit more than, we're just trying to expose weaknesses, and not let the defense sub. It's like, I don't mind.
That's their advantage in college.
And that's fine. Like, they can play it that way. The NFL just doesn't do it that way.
No.
Now, I do think Pittsburgh played pretty fast on Saturday when they were out there on offense. Like, they were up tempo with it. They weren't huddle.
Yeah.
But they were quick.
Yeah.
With what they were doing. So it would have been interesting if, say, Hunter was playing the whole first quarter and doing it both ways for the whole quarter, what that would have looked like, just the taxing on his body.
Yeah.
That's not the way they handled it. I imagine sometime sooner rather than later, they're going to have to let it go. If it's going to be something you're going to be doing in the regular season, that's going to be the plan. Let it happen.
Yeah, and I don't think when I talk about him going both ways, I don't talk about his lungs. I think lungs-wise, and he'd be fine because he is a specimen of an athlete. I'm just talking about the wear and tear of all the hits on defense and then all the hits on offense over 17 games. And it just adding up each year as you continue to get older. So that's where I'm just like, let him just go. Let's figure out what he can do his first few years. And let's just see. Why not? We've got to have somebody
That's the plan.
Do this at some point in time. Yeah. But I want to know, like, what's the percentages of him playing? Yeah. Is he, he's going to be 100% out there on offense? And then, like you said, maybe when they are in 11 personnel or something like that, where he comes in as a third DB on defense. Whatever it is, I'm so excited that it's our team going through this.
Oh, it's great.
Because we don't do this kind of thing. No. We don't go up in the draft and get a two-way player that everybody is saying is the best player in the whole draft for the last few years. Like, we don't do that kind of stuff. So for us to be the team that is being talked about the most on ESPN is really cool.
Yeah, Travis Hunter is a star in the NFL before he ever steps on the field, and it happens to be happening here in Jacksonville for him. What's up, everybody? Fat Tony here. Thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube. Before you go away, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and be sure to check out our other team-specific channels on 1010XL's network on YouTube.